All right, welcome to this explainer. I'm your master electrician, and today I'm going to be guiding you through the Canadian Electrical Code 2024 rules on liquid-tight flex. If you are a first or second year apprentice getting ready to absolutely crush your Red Seal exam, you are in the exact right place. We aren't just going to read a bunch of boring code rules today. We're going to translate this into the practical, everyday language we actually use on real Canadian construction sites, whether you're working residential, commercial, or heavy industrial. Let's get to it. Here is our game plan for today's virtual job site walkthrough. We'll kick things off with an intro to liquid-tight flex, cover exactly where you can and can't use it, break down the bonding and support rules, share some crucial field tips, run through a few Red Seal practice questions, and finally wrap up with your ultimate exam cheat sheet. Section 1. Intro to liquid-tight flex. Let's crack open the codebook to Rule 12-1300. So, when are we actually grabbing a roll of liquid-tight flex out of the work van? Well, picture a wet or heavily vibrating environment. We're talking about running a whip to an outdoor AC unit, hooking up a hot tub, or wiring a motor in a heavy-duty washdown bay. Rule 12-1300 is our starting line, and it tells us that Rules 12-1302 all the way to 12-1308 are your ultimate step-by-step guide for this material. You literally never have to guess how to run it because the CEC lays out the ground rules perfectly right here. Moving to Section 2, where you can use it. This is all about exactly where this material belongs and, more importantly, where it absolutely doesn't. You're going to want to lock this breakdown into your memory because the Red Seal exam loves testing you on these specific environmental permissions. On the permitted side, dry, damp, or wet locations are totally good to go. You can also bury it directly in the earth, but only, and I mean this is a huge only, if the jacket is specifically marked for direct burial. On the not permitted side, never put it where it's subject to mechanical damage. Don't run it along the floor of a busy warehouse where a forklift driver is inevitably going to redesign your conduit run for you. Also, keep it far away from gasoline or light petroleum solvents. Those chemicals will literally eat the plastic jacket right off the metal core. Now here's a massive exam trap. 60 degrees Celsius. Rule 12-1302 strictly forbids using standard liquid-tight flex where temperatures exceed 60 degrees. Why? Because that outer PVC jacket will just melt or degrade over time. The only exception to this rule is if you buy a specific roll that has a higher temperature rating printed right on the jacket. If it's not stamped, 60 degrees is your hard ceiling, no exceptions. Section 3. The bonding and support rules. Let's look at Rules 12-130 and 1308. Okay, read this quote carefully because it's absolutely crucial for safety. A separate bonding conductor shall be installed. Listen, do not ever assume the metal spiral jacket inside the flex acts as a bond. You must pull a separate copper or aluminum bonding wire inside the pipe every single time. That spiral metal inside liquid-tight is just not tested or rated to carry fault current. If you skip the bond wire, you're creating a massive safety hazard, and an inspector will catch it. Now, Rule 12-1308 gives us our boots-on-the-ground physical installation steps. You need to lock these specific spacing measurements into your brain. First, you must put your first strap within 300 millimeters of every box or cabinet. That takes the physical stress off the connector. After that first strap, you need another support at least every 1.5 meters along the run. Now, what if you're fishing this flex through a finished wall where you obviously can't rip open the drywall to strap it? The code actually gives you a break here. Subrule 2 says fishing is totally permitted if it's concealed, and strapping is just impracticable. Section 4. Field tips and common mistakes. Let's clear up some major confusion around trade size 12. Man, as a journey person, I see apprentices get tripped up by size 12 flex, which is your standard 3/8-inch whip, all the time. Look at these two distinct rules side by side. One limits your physical length for connecting equipment to a strict 1.5 meters. The other, Rule 12-1304, tells you to use exactly 118 square millimeters for your conductor fill math. So if you are using 12 trade size to connect equipment, it's just meant to be a short whip. Don't mix up your physical length restriction with your wire fill math. They are completely different rules. Keep these practical tips in mind on the job site. Inspectors will literally fail you on the spot if you miss that direct burial marking before you throw dirt in the trench. I also see guys run flex way too low on a wall in a shop, right where tool carts and heavy equipment are just going to bang into it constantly. That's textbook mechanical damage. Oh, and remember, if you run liquid-tight inside a building, it still has to comply with the general flame spread requirements found back in Rule 2-132. Section 5. Red Seal practice questions. Let's do some rapid-fire testing on what we just covered. Question 1. According to the CEC, what is the maximum permitted support spacing for a run of liquid-tight flexible conduit? Think back to those magic numbers we just talked about. You have your first strap right near the box, but what is the maximum distance between the rest of your straps? The answer is 1.5 meters. Did you get it right? A lot of apprentices guess 3 meters because they confuse it with rigid or EMT conduit rules. But remember, Liquid-Tite is floppy, so it needs that tighter 1.5 meters support spacing. Next question. True or false? Liquid-Tite flexible conduit can be used in an environment reaching 75 degrees Celsius without any special markings. Watch out, they absolutely love throwing this trap at you on the exam. And the answer is false. Code Reference Rule 12-1302 Subrule 3C. 75 degrees and 90 degrees are very common temperature ratings for wire, which is exactly why the examiners use those numbers to try and trick you. But for standard Liquid-Tite Flex, 60 degrees Celsius is your hard baseline limit unless it's specifically stamped for more. Section 6, your exam cheat sheet. Let's wrap this up with the absolute essentials. Take a mental screenshot right now. Here is today's Red Seal takeaway. The 3 most critical points to remember for your exam. First, know your magic numbers, 1.5 meters for max support spacing and the max length of a size 12 equipment whip. 60 degrees Celsius is your standard temp limit, 300 millimeters for your first strap, and 118 square millimeters is your area for size 12 wire fill. Second, you always pull a separate bonding conductor. Never rely on the jacket. Third, watch your environment. No physical damage, keep it away from gas and solvents, and only bury it if it actually says direct burial. Before we go, I want to leave you with a quick thought. What happens if you need to run Liquid-Tite Flex inside a Class 1 Division 1 hazardous location, like a fuel depot? Does this standard flex still cut it? Well, that's a whole different section of the codebook. Thanks for studying with me. If you found this lesson helpful, please like, subscribe, and comment with the next CEC topic you'd like to learn. Keep studying, stay safe, and good luck on your Red Seal journey.